Mandela lecture at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg. Former US President Barack Obama will deliver that highly anticipated 16th edition of the lecture for Madiba centenary. 15,000 people are expected to attend, including dignitaries coming from around the world. Nelson Mandela Foundation CEO Sello Hatang says those who couldn't get tickets must not go to the stadium, but rather watch the proceedings on television and other social media platforms. Now, Mandela and Obama, the first black presidents of their respective countries, met only once in 2005 in a hotel room in Washington, while Obama was the senator from Illinois. They spoke frequently by telephone while Obama was president. Well, for more on this, let's go live now to Delta Park in Johannesburg, where members of the elders are planting trees in honor of Madiba. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis is live for us there. Chriselda, a big day ahead of you today. Who's attending this tree planting ceremony?
Well, that's right, Blaine. On the eve of what had have been former President Nelson Mandela's 100th birthday, a small forest is to be planted here today, 100 trees to honor that legacy of the former elder statesman. And what we're expecting to happen here today is that, of course, this is all part of a cause to create biodiversity and to show the importance of working together. Now, this initiative, in partnership with the City of Johannesburg's parks, as well as the elders. You remember the elders were set up as a group of distinguished world leaders in order to advance, most of the ideals that former President Nelson Mandela had stood for. We're expecting amongst those to address here the media, as well as those in attendance, is the widow of former President Nelson Mandela, Graça Machel, as well as the former island president, Mary Robinson, who's been with the elders since the inception in 2007. So I think it's really quite exciting. Part of what I read on what this initiative was aiming to create was the fact that many people in years to come, Blaine, will be able to come here to Delta Park in Chriselda Park and watch these trees grow. And I think it's very symbolic in the sense that as these trees will be planted together by people who share those ideals of the former President Nelson Mandela, you'll see a situation where these trees will grow from here to here, and people will really get to enjoy the serenity of what is going to take place here at Delta Park in Johannesburg. So really the celebrations and the commemorations are gearing up to tomorrow, and of course in much anticipation for that lecture which is going to be delivered this afternoon. I think the celebrations and commemorations themselves are really in full swing. Yeah.
Chriselda, give us the TikTok of how things are going to unfold today. Who is expected to be speaking today?
As I indicated there, Blaine, we're expecting the widow of the former elder statesman Nelson Mandela, Graça Machel, to come and speak here today as well. According to the program, the former island president Mary Robinson, who you'd recall is also the former commissioner for the UN human rights. So we're expecting her. She will speak on one of the issues relating to the future generations and what Madiba's legacy will be in the hands of young Africans. I think that is quite significant to hear what she will say pertaining to that, because you'd know that Madiba himself really did champion human rights for all, not just in South Africa, on parts of the continent and the rest of the world as well. So what she will say about what the future looks like of Madiba's legacy in the hands of young Africans is certainly something we'd want to see. But I think very symbolic, the planting of these trees, this little forest, the small forest of 100 trees, symbolic in the sense that over the years many people will get to watch these trees grow and symbolize what Madiba stood for in having so many people planting those 100 trees together.
I did hear that Sir Richard Branson and Peter Gabriel were on the bill. Can you confirm that?
Well, that's right. We're expecting Sir Richard Branson to be here. I think when I was trying to find out much more about this event, you'd recall, Blaine, I found it quite hilarious in the sense that Sir Richard Branson himself, when he started his business at a very young age, what some people won't know is that I think it was at the age of 11 years old where he started selling Christmas trees. So one of the questions that I plan to pose to him is that, back then there was this young businessman at the age of about 11 years old who was selling Christmas trees, yet today he'll be part of a process where he will be planting these trees in a very historic moment with large symbolism about trees that will signify the togetherness of what Nelson Mandela stood for. And I think, quite funny that back then you had him selling Christmas trees, and today he'll be involved in a cause that will actually have a long-lasting impact that many people would be able to watch over many years to come.
Indeed. Maybe you could say it's Christmas in July, Chriselda. Chriselda Lewis, thank you very much indeed for your time. We'll catch up with you a little later on. Chriselda Lewis live for us in Johannesburg.